Thank you all for coming today. For some of you, this may apply. For others, it may not. But because this is new and this is the only opportunity that you'll have a chance to hear this, we wanted to get everybody together to make sure everybody at least had the same opportunity. So last spring, we worked all last year on developing what's called an early college high school, okay? We had to do several presentations to the MEMCA organization. They approved us, and this year we are going with it, and we are signing kids up. What that means is this, that every student here is possible to go and have another year. It's not of high school though, it is of college. But the benefit to you, I'll tell you right off, why would that be interesting for you, is that the school would actually pay for that first year of college. It's through Mid-Michigan College, okay? We have a partnership with them that we can design a program for you through this year, next year, and then that fifth year, we call it, you would go, and then instead of going on and paying for that yourself, the school itself would pay for it. During that fifth year, you would not have to, you're not coming to the school to take classes or anything. You're doing all of the stuff at mid-college, or you're doing it virtually. And the reason why the school has to pay for it, so there are a few things that we need to do to satisfy for the state. Everyone who did do this would be in a seminar class. That it'd either be an in-person meeting, a virtual meeting, a phone call, once every couple of weeks where you are checking in, and it'll probably be with Mrs. Johnson that you'd be checking in. And then there would be some requirements for that seminar class, such as developing and building a resume. We also have to have some other things involved as far as work experience or volunteerism that we would all share with you. One biggest benefit for you right now, if you are in CTE, okay? If you are in CTE, but it also applies if you're not. If you're in CTE right now, for an example, how many people are in welding right now? We got a few, right? Welding. If I'm in welding and I think that's pretty cool and I'm really liking this so far, it's something I very much want to consider doing this. This additional year, what does that get you? That gets you the credentials you need to walk into any business that fifth year and get a great paying job right away after that fifth year. And a lot of times, folks, you can work full time. When you graduate, you can still work full time that fifth year. Work full time, take your college classes, school's paying for it all, and then you got some credentials at the end of that fifth year, okay? If I'm in, like, criminal justice is a good avenue to go to. But even if I just wanted to go through and take some other classes, I wanted to get a full associate's degree, okay? There is an option for that as well, and have the school almost pay for the whole thing. So you wouldn't have to do that, okay? Again, the drawbacks for you say, oh, I'm not going to be here fifth year. What does that mean for my graduation year? You still walk with your graduating class. When you graduate next year, you still walk with your class. You still have your graduation party if you're going to do that. All of that's the same. You would not get your diploma, though, until the completion of that fifth year, okay? But you could still do all that other stuff. The other big drawback for some of you who are in the top 10 and who may be valedictorian, you would not be able to be the valedictorian, salutatorian, or in the top 10 because you technically would have that fifth year coming here. So if that's something that's really important to you, this would not be an option for you. That's the state requirements. That's not necessarily ours. The other thing that we just found out, if I wanted to do this fifth year with Beaverton, because you are basically a college student at that point, and you were an athlete and you thought, man, I would like to go play basketball at Mid-Michigan College, or baseball, or football, or softball, or soccer, or whatever, you could still do that because you would still be their student at that time. So that option is still there for you. That's specifically, obviously, when we're talking about mid. Is there any questions before I get going on a few other things with that? How this would look is you would have to fill out, we have applications here today. You would have to look at that application. You take that home, you look at it with your family, and you would fill that application, and we would have to have that application back by October 1st, okay? So by October 1st, we have to have that application turned in. And the reason being is that in order for you to do that 5th year, that additional year, we have to specialize code you with the state of Michigan so the state recognizes that. And we have to do that this fall. But because we just started this process last spring and are offering it to you now, we wanted to get it out there. So like what you'll see in the spring, we're going to present this information. And you can only do it when you're junior. Next year, you can't sign up. Okay, it has to be done by the fall of your junior year. So this is why this is your only chance to consider this as an option, okay? Even if you're a student who is going to go into, let's say you're going to go do pre-med, you might have a bunch of classes you could take at mid first. This still would be an option for you that you could take these classes at mid and then go on to, you know, after that first year at mid, then go on to CMU or wherever that you're trying to get into some medical program there. So you would have those options as well. So really what it is, if you want to boil it all down, yes, there's some obligations that you would have connections with the schools for that 5th year, but it boils down to the school would be able to pay for your first year of college, no cost to you or your family. With that. Now I say that, there could be some book expenses or something of that nature, but actually paying for your credits, that would be on us. And we would do that.
Mr. Bassett, do you mind if I just kind of add something for CTE?
Yes.
Okay, so those of you that are in welding, advanced manufacturing, or criminal justice, I encourage you to take advantage of this opportunity that Beaverton is giving you. What that looks like if you're currently a junior in CTE and welding, for example, you're going to continue on as a junior with your welding classes. You're going to come back to CTE as a senior in your welding classes. And then that 5th year that Mr. Bassett is talking about, you're going to come back and actually be in the same lab space to finish up your college welding classes at no cost to you. The really cool part, from my perspective, is these 2 years in CTE, those college classes have extra support for you to be successful. So Mr. Schaefer, those of you that are in welding, he's there to help you these next 2 years to earn that college credit. And that's a benefit, I believe. We're also there at CTE to help you with our counseling staff, Algebra 2 credit requirements. So think about that, talk about it with your parents. But what Beaverton is offering you is a great opportunity to get a head start on a college career or just get a jump start into your career field for those classes. So, and as always, if you have questions about what that looks like at CTE, come over, stop by my office. Welding, you're right down the hall from me. I'd love to see you. So that's it, Mr. Bassett. It's a great opportunity you're offering.
And again, that I just want to get done and work. I love working with my hands, and I want to be a welder, and that's what I want to do. Well, you still need to get certain credentials in order to be a welder. That 5th year allows you to get that for free. You don't have to pay for it yourself. You don't have to worry about trying to get into a business that would set you up to do that. Some people might say, well, I just want to work next year, my 5th year. I just want to work after I graduate. You can. You can basically work full-time in a good job and get it done. How many people remember Mrs. Phillips, who was our counselor here last year? We all remember her. Her son right now is working full-time. She said he's making $17 an hour. He's doing this 5th year right now for welding. She said it's the best thing ever for him, and he's loving it because he's working full-time. He's getting all the credentials he needs. He'll be even making more money once he gets done with the program. So those opportunities are there for you. But if you are somebody who wants to go on, well, I want to go on to, Michigan State, and I want to be a whatever. There's a plan that we could put together for you that you could do that, where you'd get at least one of your years paid for. So, and we also have two ladies here from the college that once you decide, yes, I'm going to do this, or I really want to look at this, we'll get you in touch with them, and they can help develop that plan and what it specifically looks like at the college, at the class level, and what you need to do to sign up, become a student, and be successful at it. So that's basically it. But if you do have questions right now, please ask them now. And we have these people here who help us to answer any of your questions. So are there any right now? All right. Applications, guys. We do have applications here. Obviously, you need some time. It's brand new. You just heard of this for the first time. You need to think about it a little bit. You can still take an application, even if you're just considering it. The other thing I want to mention too that I didn't, if you did sign up for this and then your senior year something changed and you said, I can't do this now. We're moving. You know, didn't know it, but Dad got a job in Ohio and we're moving. You can still back out at that time. We would make sure that everything was set, that you could do that. You would still then graduate and get your diploma with your class that senior year if you knew you weren't going to be here the following, okay? So there is an escape clause if we absolutely needed it. But please really consider it, take advantage of it, and if you have questions, just ask. You're at that point right now in your life that you really need to start thinking about the future a little bit and what you want to do. And there is never any harm in just asking a bunch of questions. Even if you're not interested at first, you might be down the road. Yes?
Is someone who's credit deficit right now able to participate in this program?
That would be difficult to do because we have to be on pace to graduate to begin with. So if they weren't going to graduate from high school in a normal 4 years, that would not be set up. Now, if they were going to prove and show that they were going to be on pace at some point, that'd be a conversation, but that's a great question.
And I encourage you guys, if you are not sure if what you're looking into would fit this, just ask, because we can reach out to any of these and say, hey, I have a student that's interested in this, what would that look like for early college? And they are going to be great at getting us a pathway or telling us, hey, that's not actually going to work. We would suggest this, or so just ask if you have questions, please.
Anything else about folks before we go? Do you guys have anything you'd like to add?
Just second, that it is a great opportunity. We work with a lot of different districts in the area for early middle college, so please know that you're not alone. You are in good company with other dual students who are doing this program. But as well, the mentoring team and advising team at MID, that is what we're here to do, is support you in this. So if this is something that you think is going to be a great opportunity to get a jump start on that college education for you, whether that's a skilled trade or a transfer program, just know that we're here to help you along the way. That is what we are here to specialize in from start to finish. And so please know that we are here to support you and your school staff in this program.